prior to that, I would like to ask you a question from the profile and everything that I watched about you. If I'm not mistaken, you also cherish traveling. Like you have been to a lot of places with your
Yeah,
family.
yes, you are right.
But that's the motherly love. You are speaking from the perspective of the lens of a mother.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm pursuing my PhD as well on the topic of Mahabharat. So that's what I do. And in my spare time, I like to make this kind of podcast with intriguing people like you. So if you're doing good things will happen to you. Universe will be doing good things towards you and all that. You know that. Whatsoever things I do, I always make sure that English is there. So because of my compulsion and obsession with this language, I feel like I'm weirdly good compared to other people in this language. And I always try to observe a lot of things, and I have good connection with people from different parts of the world. So I often do productive conversations with them, and that's how this vocabulary gets inherited in myself, because they realize the value of it. They realize that in today's world, without English, you it's going to be a daunting task for you to survive. So we don't have to tell them, please sit quietly, please pay attention.
Yes, yes, and please don't talk and complete your homework and do your classwork. Bring your copy on time for corrections. All
Yeah.
these things we don't
Mm,
have to do now. Yeah,
mm.
that is really true.
So good evening to you, Manjuji. How's it going?
Good evening, Janelle. It's fine, fantastic, pretty good. Yeah, since morning I was waiting for like connecting with you, but yeah, you were caught up somewhere. I know it. So yeah, it's all good. My day was fantastic. And now I think once connecting with you, it's going to be more fantastic.
Likewise here, I was raring to have this conversation with you because like we have been pondering about this, like let's do it, but it kept on delaying. So I thought that finally it's time to have this great conversation with you. So
So
let's commence it.
yeah, yeah, certainly. But I want to know about everything is fine because you were somewhere in the hospital, you said. So I
Hmm.
hope everything is going on well
Yeah,
or
everything is. Yeah,
it's fine.
good. All right.
Okay, okay. So as we are meeting for the first time, so you might not be knowing about me. I know about you because I happened to watch one of your videos with Sheila ji. She is a vivacious person and I love her very much. She is a great mentor actually. And
Yeah.
whenever I see her somewhere in any of the videos, I don't leave that video to watch. So, and then I felt like connecting with you too because I felt that you are a logophile, you use fantastic words, and I wanted to know the secret of it so that it can be beneficial for the learners of yours and mine both. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
before we proceed into the conversation, let me introduce myself first, and then I'll certainly ask you to introduce. My name you can see, and yeah, I have been a teacher for past 3 decades, and I was in a regular institution. I was working in a convent school, but yeah, in the year 2022 I got retired, and after retirement I felt like doing something, and then I started and took the help of the social media, you can say YouTube channel, and from there I started my grammar videos, and after that switched on to conversation videos, and that's how I'm making myself busy. Actually, if you talk about my passion, so I'm teaching enthusiast. Okay, and
Wow.
I am greatly, deeply committed and connected with my learners. And I am from Lucknow, that I forgot to tell you. Okay, this is pretty
And
much about me, and I would love to know about you, Janelle.
nowadays, like there's been this trend because of social media. Like a lot of people, their ultimate goal is to travel around the world to see places, to get to feel rejuvenated. So after prior to that, I would like to ask you a question from the profile and everything that I watched about you. If I'm not mistaken, you also cherish traveling. Like you have been to a lot of places with your
Yeah,
family.
yes, you are right. You are right. You are right. Yes.
So tell me something about that. Like, how many places have you covered, and when did you get this bug for traveling?
Actually, it's nothing like I had any bug for traveling, but it happened by chance, you can say, because once my children completed their studies. Somehow both of them went to foreign countries. My son is in Canada, my daughter is in Sweden. So I
Okay.
happened to go to Canada because of my son, and I went there many times. Every year I used to go. Now, very
Mm,
especially after retirement, I stay there for a longer period of time. Earlier, I was going for maybe 30 to 40 days because I was getting just one long leave that was summer vacation. Yeah,
makes
when
sense.
I was formally working in the school. After retirement, I'm spending more of time with my kids. And my daughter was actually in State Bank of India. She was a branch manager. But because of my son-in-law, she also moved to Sweden, and there she did her MBA, and now she's working in a very reputed company. And because of her and my son-in-law, I went to Sweden. From Sweden, we explored some more things like Rome, Italy,
Mm,
Denmark, and many more nearby places, actually, you can say. So it's nothing like I have a passion of traveling, but yeah, because my children, they are there, so I feel like going and meeting them. That's it.
okay. And nowadays, like there's been this trend because of social media. Like a lot of people, their ultimate goal is to travel around the world to see places, to get to feel rejuvenated. So after being to this many places, what's your take on it? Do you think people should be having the ultimate goal of traveling around the world? That's the key to happiness.
I don't consider that. This is my personal belief. For happiness, you need not to just cover all around the world and you have to explore many things. Of course, when we visit to other places, go to different places, we get to know many more things. Certain culturally which we are not getting here, we can learn from there. Something really they have great things which we should adopt. Okay, so I used to follow the good things from there, and I just ignore whatever I feel that this is just contrast to our culture. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but that is not the ultimate goal. I don't feel that I become happy because I visit to Canada. I become happy because I visit to my son's place.
Makes sense.
May it be one of the city in India itself. Okay, so that is also the same happiness I'll get as I get while going to Canada or while going to Sweden.
But that's the motherly love. You are speaking from the perspective of the lens of a mother.
Yeah, you can say that. But yeah, I don't feel I love my country actually. So I love, even I have not covered many beautiful places of India. I have
Mm,
to explore those places. India is a
okay.
great land, and we can know many more things by going to different states. Although I have covered most of the states, but still there are some in my bucket list, and I would love to go to those places.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but
Makes sense.
yes. Please introduce yourself. Yeah, we move to the other
When it comes
direction.
to introduction, I guess I'm Janil. I'm 26, and I did my bachelor's and master's in English language, English literature, and currently I'm pursuing my PhD as well on the topic of Mahabharat.
Hmm?
So that's what I do. And in my spare time, I like to make this kind of podcast with intriguing people like you around India as well as around the globe. So this is the part where I feel like I'm, trying to explore the creative personality within myself. So by doing this podcast, it helps me in finding the nuances of my personality. And furthermore, in my spare time, I like to watch films, English movies. I cherish those kind of films, and I'm into books also. I like to
Hmm?
hit the books whenever I get the time. On weekends, I don't work, so from Monday to Friday, I work like hell. But when it comes to weekend, I'm simply relaxing and chilling. So that's all about me.
Oh, sounds good. Oh, I'm surprised and astonished to hear the topic which you have taken for PhD. That is Mahabharata. Okay,
Yeah.
quite interesting it is. Okay, what was the inclination to take this topic? I am now quite curious to know about this.
Initially, like I was always fond of this, the concept of karma, like what you do, you eventually you're gonna have to face the music. So if
Mm,
you're doing good things will happen to you. Universe will be going, doing good things towards you, and all that. You know that. However, what happened really is like nowadays a lot of people do PhD for the sake of doing PhD. They don't care about what their topic is, what their thesis is. They only care about getting the degree of PhD,
mhm,
having the doctor prior to their names. So what I felt personally was like I want to do something that's gonna bring meaning to my life. If I'm giving 3 years of my life to complete this program, I'm like I want to make sure that it contributes in certain way. It has an impact on my life. So I thought that nothing is as big as compared to Mahabharata. So that's how I stumbled upon it, and I went with Mahabharata.
lovely. Actually, I too read Gita on daily basis.
Oh,
So many people have a great confusion about Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and Mahabharata. They consider both as same. So, do you want to just clarify for the learners, for the other people, those who are going to watch this video, that Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita, these are two different things? Because
definitely.
you
It's like
can explain it better than me.
it's like I can say it's apples and oranges. When it comes to Mahabharata, it's the epic, and Bhagavad Gita is a small part of it. Where on the battlefield, when Arjuna felt apprehensive, he was feeling cold feet. At that time, Krishna gave him the motivation. He was the first motivational speaker in the entire world. So that's the part, and that's the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna, Lord Krishna, in the form of Bhagavad Gita. So that's how you can differentiate it. Like Mahabharata is the big thing, and Bhagavad Gita is a small but a beautiful part of it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so I have never deeply gone through Mahabharata, but Gita is part of my life every day, at least 5 to 10 shlokas or verses, I can say. I go through. I have learned by heart many,
Oh,
so that if I don't get time to turn the pages and to take Gita in my hand, at least orally, verbally, I can just chant those verses because it gives me great happiness. Every word of those verses, they have
mm,
great deep meaning,
it
and
speaks
it
volume.
has, yeah, yeah, yeah. And if you connect with those words, I feel that is the truth of life, and we should feel it. It's a,
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely. Every
So
time I, go through the pages of Bhagavad Gita, I feel rejuvenated. I feel different, and it always, fascinates my mind how
mhm.
every time I try to read Bhagavad Gita, I come up with different kind of interpretations.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
you are right. Yes, this happens with me too. Like every time I sometimes know Sanskrit, I do not understand word by word. Then I go
me.
through the meaning. Okay, and again, second time when I just try to understand that particular verse, I feel that it has second meaning too. Yeah, we need to understand it in as detail as possible, and it's not
Definitely.
a one day task. As many times we'll read those verses, we'll get another experience by reading them.
Hmm.
Nice that you, being of this generation, you have taken this topic. I'm so happy, so glad to hear this.
Yeah, I'm deeply rooted when it comes to the concept of karma. So, because of this concept, I decided that Mahabharata is the connecting link with this concept. So, it was a calling for me that somehow I got connected with Mahabharata, and then I realized that this is what I want to do. Even if I am not able to complete my PhD, at least I would have the knowledge of Mahabharata.
Yes. And I also came to know through that video that you are a yoga trainer too.
Yeah. I take one class in the morning of yoga, and for the rest of the day, I teach 10 hours, like English. But for that one class, I teach yoga. So I'm a certified yoga trainer as well.
Oh, lot many things on your plate to do every day.
Yeah,
Okay, and you are teaching students, I think, English.
yeah, that's what I do.
All right. Okay, how are you finding it? Are you feeling that, yeah, it's your core of interest, you wanted to do this, or this happened accidentally, like you became teacher, as this happened with me? Because I never wanted to become a teacher. It was not my part of interest. I was thinking that I should become a doctor. My father was thinking that I should become an IAS officer because for him, I was an intelligent child. Okay, but I could neither become an IAS officer nor I could become a doctor. I happened to become a teacher. So it happened accidentally. You can say by chance it happened. I was just being invited to see the annual function and to judge the students in that school, and somehow, like, I was called for the teacher that you can become the part of this institution, and I loved. Once I started, I loved it, and then yeah, that became a part of my life. And till date, I'm teaching, and till my last breath, I feel that I will be teaching.
Definitely. Hey, then, that's really inspiring. And likewise, same was in my case. Like many moons ago, when I was in school, I never thought that I would become a teacher when I grow up.
Mhm.
It was a far-fetched idea for me that I used to hate my teachers because I used to hate going to the school, waking up early in the morning because of that reason. So
Okay.
I never thought that about it, like being an English teacher. But luckily enough, after completion of my 10th grade, I stumbled upon a spoken English class, and that changed the trajectory of my life. Since then, I have never looked back. And that was the turning point. And that's when I decided that I want to be an English teacher.
Okay. Tell me about one thing which I want to ask you, that how do you stay connected and you improve your vocabulary, because you have been using wonderful words in your conversation. So how do you add more of words every day? Do you do something special? Just share for the learners so that they can also get an idea that how can they do it. Because for me, what happens, I learn, but I never ever am able to use those words in my conversations. Yeah, first and foremost, usually I want to make it simple, but now this has become my habit. I don't use difficult words or fancy words in my conversation, but I love to listen to when somebody speaks. Okay, how do you improve your vocabulary? That, please share it.
Look, when it comes to English, I'm quite eccentric about it. Like, you can call me crazy when it comes to English. So, whatsoever things I do, I always make sure that English is there. So, because of my compulsion and obsession with this language, I feel like I'm weirdly good compared to other people in this language. And I always try to observe a lot of things, and I have good connection with people from different parts of the world, so I often do productive conversations with them, and that's how this vocabulary gets inherited in myself.
All right. Okay, lovely. Do you have any questions for me?
In the As you said that you have been teaching for the past 30 years, right?
More than that, yeah.
Wow, that's tremendous. First of all, hats off to you. So
Thank
what
you.
sort of advice would you like to give to aspiring teachers like me?
Uh, See, if I see today's generation, I feel that when I started teaching, that was another era, and the relationship between teacher and student was quite different. I'm talking about my starting journey, okay?
Hmm.
But when I left my job, when I got retired, that time the scenario was quite different. Like teacher and student means like friends, yeah. So, and then I can say that rules were also quite changed by the government, so that we cannot scold the students, we cannot be harsh to them, we cannot give corporal punishment to them. So, the piece of advice which I want to give to all the aspiring teachers, that try to understand your students, yeah, and then getting to know them, have the right approach to teach them. because if you want to be strict with them, if you want to penalize them, punish them, that's not going to work in today's time. Yeah,
Mhm.
gone those days we were getting scolding in the school, and if you we used to tell our parents, they were also giving one or two slaps that you were wrong at that place. So this time neither the teacher is going to scold the students, nor the parents are going to beat their children, because they always come to the campus to fight with the teachers that why did you say this, something if harsh has been told by the teacher. Okay, so the time has gone, so I want to tell them that be very very say you should bear your students, yeah, you should
Okay.
understand them, and then you should be very patient with them.
Hmm.
That is very important.
No, sometimes nowadays children are really kind of like super active because of technology, because of eating fast food and all. So it's
Mhm.
a Herculean task to control them, to teach them at the same time. But I am very comfortable with adults because they realize the significance of English language. So nowadays mostly I'm teaching to adults, and I'm quite satisfied with it.
Yeah, that is a different no experience. Once I was teaching in the school, that was quite different from what I'm doing now. I'm taking online classes, and they are all professionals. They are just connecting with me in order to grammatically some corrections if they need, if I can correct them. Okay, so that is quite different and quite easy. I must say
Mhm.
that quite easy to teach them.
Yeah.
And teaching to the students till the level of class 12th, that is really really very difficult. And
Mm,
it's,
definitely.
yeah, you need patience and you need energy to teach them.
True. And in
Yeah.
today's time, those two things are really hard to have, because dealing with us, even I deal with students who are in 10th grade, who are in first standard, but the number of students are less compared to adults. So I feel like I feel better when I teach to adults because they realize the value of it. They realize that in today's world, without English, you it's gonna be a daunting task for you to survive. So we don't have to tell them, please sit quietly, please pay attention. They know.
Yes, yes, and please don't talk and complete your homework and do your classwork. Bring your copy on time for corrections. All
Yeah.
these things we don't
Mm,
have to do now. Yeah,
mm,
that is really true. So if you are teaching to adults now, adults have more responsibility than the teachers. I feel they
definitely.
have to understand that how much practice they have to do, because usually they ask, "Ma'am, how many months or how many days will I take to learn this language? Will I be able to speak like you?" So I always tell them that this is a language and you can speak, but yeah, mastering this language, it means you have to just be crazy and stubborn, I can say, and then only you can learn. It's not simply like attending here for half an hour and going and relaxing at home after that. No, it has to be like 24 into 30, I can say. You have to just keep on thinking in English each and every time any thought comes to your mind. It means it should be in English, isn't it? Because our first language is Hindi. Most of us speak Hindi first, yeah, and then comes the regional language, and somewhere for some it is third language, isn't it? So we need to be very patient, and we need not to be time bounded. We can't say that you can learn in 1 month or 1 year, yeah. And
Definitely.
it's a lifelong process. Language learning, I can't say that Hindi I have mastered, I know everything. No, there are many words, as I told you, that I don't understand the meaning of many verses of Gita. Sanskrit was the part of, I told you that I every day I chant those verses, but in spite of that I do not understand all the verses. Yeah, sometimes I need to check the meaning.
Definitely. Makes sense.
Yeah,
I
so
totally see eye to eye on that. Like the fact that you mentioned, when it comes to English, a lot of people are under the impression that they can master this language in 3 months. So when a student comes to me, I tell him bluntly that if you want to, you can take the class for 1 month, you can take the class for 1 year. It depends upon you. But I'm not saying that by joining my class, you can learn English in 3 months. That's a preposterous thing to claim. A lot of spoken English classes claim this thing to get students, but I tell them bluntly that this is not how I teach.
Yeah, many of my students, even they also ask that, ma'am, I have seen on thumbnails that teacher had written like, आप 2 महीने में फर्राटे से English बोलेंगे, you can
Yeah.
become fluent in just 1 week. So I told them that these are all clickbaits. Don't
Yes.
believe those things. It's
Mhm.
not a cup of tea. It's not that simple. Yeah. You need to just devote wholeheartedly to learn any language. It's not about
Mm.
English. Yeah.
Anything, yeah, any context, any field, you have to give your more than 100% nowadays because of competition, because of several other factors. So,
Right.
uh, if everyone was able to speak English in 3 months, I guess there would be abundance of English teachers out there, and
Yeah.
you won't be able to get our bread and butter.
Yeah,
So, I
no, these are very common things these days. Even I have come across these kind of thumbnails that people just say that grammar not important at all.
yeah,
Yeah, English just in a month you will master it. I don't understand how somebody can master in a month.
mm,
I'm not very rude about those teachers. Sorry if somebody is going to watch this video. But yes, I feel that it is next to impossible to master any language in a month or two.
true,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah, so this is what, but we should not believe on those clickbaits, and we
Mm,
should think genuinely that what is really language learning, how
definitely.
passionate we have to become. We have to burn many midnight oil, and then we
Mm,
can understand this language. After learning, maybe for years, we can see a sea change in us, but not in a month or two. Yeah.
definitely, it's gonna come to you gradually. You cannot say that like after 1 year I would be as fluent like a native speaker or as fluent as a advanced Indian English speaker. It does not happen like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And fluency does not mean that we have to use only heavy words or fancy
Mhm.
words. Fluency means if we are able to express ourselves, whatever feelings and thoughts we have,
True.
I think that is enough for the third language or second language. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, we need to improve, and we improve. We improve
Mm.
with passage of time every day. If we are connected to certain language, certainly we are going to improve.
Yeah, I always even like when it comes to me, I feel like I'm always a learner. I never feel like I'm a teacher. I feel like I'm a learner because when it comes to spoken English, it's an endless journey. You cannot say that you have truly mastered it. So I feel like we are on all on different stages of it, different levels, and you have to keep on going. You cannot rest on your laurels. You have to make sure that you learn on regular basis. So I feel the
Uh,
same about it.
yes, yes. And teacher is always a student.
Student, yeah,
We teachers are always as students. So we
definitely.
have to just keep on learning, because
Mhm.
no matter 30, I told you that 32 years I taught in a regular institute, but every year when like new books used to be introduced, I used to turn the pages before getting into the classroom. Yeah, because you have to again just go through everything in detail before going among your students, because they can ask anything and you cannot be blank in the class. Yes, so it's a lifelong journey. Teachers means they have to keep on reading, keep on writing, keep on studying, keep on
Definitely.
exploring.
Mm.
Yes, no matter, it is not only about English, it's about any subject if you are
Yeah,
teaching.
yeah. I guess on that note, I would like to say I genuinely had a well of time having this conversation with you, and I hope that we will catch up again soon. But in the
Sure.
meantime, take care of yourself.
Thank you so much. It was really captivating conversation, and I thank you that out of your busy schedule, you were somewhere busy and you accepted my invitation. Ever since I watched that video of yours and Sheilaji, I wanted to connect with you actually. So I sent you an email, and your quick response made my day that day, that yes, we are going to catch up tomorrow. So thank you so much for everything.
Likewise, take care.
Okay, bye bye.